Since the invention of the steam engine, the automobile industry has never stopped growing. Over the past 100 years, the number of new cars sold has gone from 500,000 per year to 90 million. It's the world's largest industrial market. But automobiles are now undergoing a revolution.
It's a very powerful movement, and I don't think we can see the range of consequences yet.
It's over for the car as your parents knew it, as a status symbol and object of desire. In big cities, it has become synonymous with pollution and wasted time. What was once a symbol of freedom has become a burden, and fewer young people even have a driver's license.
There are too many cars on the road. There's no need to own your own car. You can get wherever you want by sharing a car.
In 5 years' time, you won't recognize your car. Electric cars are everywhere. Car sharing is increasingly popular, but an even bigger revolution is on the way.
I think almost all cars produced will be autonomous in 10 years.
The autonomous car, it drives itself. The biggest car makers didn't see it coming, but now they all want one.
The Renault-Nissan Alliance is committed to delivering 10 models with autonomous drive functionality by 2020.
Faced with the car's metamorphosis, will the traditional automakers be able to transform themselves? New, extremely aggressive competitors are determined to get their own slice of the pie. For some months, the traditional automobile manufacturers have been trying to show that they're in the race, offering test rides and prototypes of their autonomous cars. We searched for someone devoted to the pleasures of driving to take part in this experience. We found him in France, a driver who resists modernity at the wheel of a mythical car from the 50s, the Citroën DS.
Driving a DS is unique. There's nothing like it. It feels like a magic carpet ride over air, water, the road. It's great.
How will our car lover react to the wheel of a self-driving vehicle? We made an appointment at one of Europe's oldest car builders. PSA has been making automobiles since 1891.
Bonjour.
Eh bien, bonjour.
Hello. Hello, Matthias.
Matthias.
Bon, bah, vous allez prendre place.
Well, take your seat aboard this autonomous car. Okay, let's go. So, please sit on the driver's seat since you'll be able to drive the vehicle. Please, take a seat. The belt? I feel like I'm passing my license. You drive normally, and then on the highway, let it self-drive. This is a prototype, dual commands, just for safety reasons, which is how we receive permission for people who are not PSA group experts to get behind the wheel of the prototypes. The engineers were allowed to test their prototypes on this portion of the highway. Soon you'll be able to activate the autonomous mode. We need to be set well on the road. Wait a little. And then from now on, you press and let go. Off the wheels, pedals, everything. You can really raise your hands higher. There's no problem. It manages. It's difficult to let go of the wheel. It's frightening. Feels like someone is driving for you, hidden in the car. It's very strange. Actually, I don't really trust it.
The car is now set at 110 kilometers per hour, and it is driving by itself.
I do think there are little jolts. It does seem as if there are little jolts. It's true that perhaps the system responds more quickly than a driver. So there is a car that's come into the lane and we're going to gradually distance ourselves to allow for the safety margin. It really obeys the rules of the road. We're not really used to that.
My wife will love that.
The car maintains a safe distance set against the car ahead and speed limit while staying between the lines. But as it reaches an exit, it seems to suddenly want to escape. The engineer pulls the steering wheel.
Wow. It changed lanes.
Yeah.
It wanted to exit.
Yikes.
It's disactivated. There was a small technical issue there.
Well, yeah, a bug. Scary, right?
It's the prototypes.
I didn't think it could happen.
It can happen.
PSA has planned for 3 years of development before beginning production of the self-driving option on cars available for sale, so that all drivers might enjoy this special experience.
Here, I'm not in a car. I'm in mass transportation. But autonomous. It's a driverless taxi without a taxi driver. It's not really a car anymore.
Convinced that the car of the future is autonomous, automobile makers are engaged in a worldwide race. Having served as executive vice president of Renault and board member at Nissan, Patrick Pelata now advises car makers in California and France and has a unique observation point on this metamorphosis.
I think that the element of a driver's pleasure will remain, which will probably center in on particular moments. And the rest of the time, when, frankly, driving is a chore, will become something else, and everyone will gain some time.
How, over just a few years, did this fever take over car makers across the planet? It all started with this man. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, elbowed past the automobile giants who had ruled for over a century with the combustion engine. With much showmanship and hype, he was able to make the electric car into an object of desire. He bet on the luxury electric car, which was already potentially autonomous, through Autopilot, an option that takes command of the vehicle. Launched in 2012 with the Model S, it received authorization for use on the condition that the driver remains attentive, hands on the steering wheel.
Tesla started installing radars and cameras on their cars to eventually allow for self-driving. Nobody took it seriously, except that a year later, they came up with Autopilot. And then journalists and everyone started to say, wow, it's very good. And it was very clear that in California, compared to other cars costing over $100,000, including Mercedes, BMWs, Lexus, Toyotas, it was much better. And that made everyone realize that this was getting serious.
For over a century, electric models had tried to replace the combustive motor, to no avail.
I think that 7 or 8 years ago, the auto industry believed that everything would remain the same. For example, when Renault-Nissan, the first along with Tesla, got an electric car to market, Volkswagen said it would be a very good technology. But for 2035, they were disdainful. But they didn't take long, probably not more than 2 years, to change their minds and get to work seriously. And people such as BMW, Mercedes, General Motors also got going very quickly.
Beyond the Tesla effect, the electric car became important for builders because of the environment at the moment, and to help forget the Dieselgate emissions scandal. This amateur footage shot at Detroit's Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan reveals the size of the scandal. Of the 11 million cars it caused, 500,000 were recalled in the US by Volkswagen so as to change the software that allowed them to trick the emissions tests. Electric cars allow the builders to divert the attention of consumers, suddenly aware that transportation accounts for 15% of CO2 emissions. But it's public authorities, not car builders, that are bringing electric cars to the forefront. Governments across the planet are tasked with reducing harmful emissions into the atmosphere. For example, in California, you must have at least one zero-emissions model to be allowed to sell cars. Electric cars are the only valid alternative technology to combustion. As a result, Fiat sells electric Fiat 500 in California and nowhere else in the world.